really no use doing that because it's going to wrap up again later. Yeah. Here's what we got going on. As you can see, the bean fields are real weedy. All of them are like this. Well, not all of them. This one is a little worse. All these other ones are better, but this is the worst one. The corn is waist high. Sweet corn is growing. Field corn, kind of growing. We'll get the weeds out of it. And the water is flowing to water the corn. This is the water the corn. It goes through the rows and everything. Probably water the cats too. Because the cats live literally right up there and they come and get a drink. That's fine. How are we doing? Yeah, it's filling up the trench. I can see it. This field corn is growing. Needs some little bit of weed control. If you guys hear me breathing heavy or just running out of breath or talking very like stuttery, I guess, it's because I'm having some lung problems right now. I have asthma and I haven't been doing well for the past probably 3.5 weeks, but I'm getting better. It's perfectly fine. I'm fine. Just don't worry about that. I was breathing heavy throughout like literally the whole video, so just get used to it, I guess, but I'm okay. Still not in dough. This is what we're cutting today. So it's all grassy and stuff. There's a path right there needs cut, there, all around, because the sprayer's coming soon. So yeah, full Rex, the big case sprayer. Rex is the guy who delivers seed to us and sprays for us. But yeah, need some weed control out here too, but this should cut real good. I'm trying to just get this to nice, kind of hay-like. Start cutting it and giving it to the chickens, I guess. It's my personal little hayfield. It's 0.1 of an acre. There's sunflowers right there. Corn, garden beans. You can't see them because there's weeds. Field corn, sweet corn way over there, field corn. And that's the whole garden. As you can see, this corn is actually doing really well. It's nice and thick. Good leaves. It's not getting pineapple-y at all. Some spots it's got a little bit of variation. That's just because of the rain and the water source. But yeah. Can't take a hoe to it now. I mean, you could. You really could, but I'm not doing that. This is probably the shortest area right here. It's about waist high. That's the tallest. Probably about 6'3". I think I measured it earlier. 6'3", 6'4". It's the tallest area. It's the second tallest. Well, let's go explain what was in the yard. Here are 2 brand new tractors. If you remember, a lot of videos ago, I mentioned that we bought these 2. I didn't want to take a lot out of it or talk about it much because they weren't here yet. They were at the farm where we bought them. But they're in rough shape. And we'll do something about that, but 2 new tractors. First one is a Naus-Chalmers WD-45. So it's almost exactly the same as the big WD with the straight pipe on it. So now we have 2 of these. It's in really rough shape. And then the other one is the John Deere 70 diesel power steering. And it's big. It's huge, actually. Started up with a pony motor. The pony motor don't work, so you have to pull it. Almost 6,000 hours. What do you want? So what do you want? 5,700 hours.
Yeah, if it works.
If it works. So the WD obviously needs a lot, but we're gonna go over the basic things that it needs just by looking at it. So first of all, it needs a muffler and obviously exhaust pipe. It has a jar covering the exhaust so no rain gets in it. Needs an air cap for it. Needs a couple of new parts on the battery box, new battery. Needs 2 new front tires, maybe rims. Needs a new back tire, definitely rim on this one. This tire is actually pretty good. Again, maybe need a new tire, you never know. Needs a full restoration, so. But we'll get to that in another day. We'll talk about that another day, about the restoration of this tractor. The 70 does not need that much. The only thing it really needs is the pony motor fixed. Apparently the pony motor does not run. It's a 4-cylinder pony motor. So gas up here, injection line goes down to there and there. Basically how to run this tractor is you start it up on gas and run it on diesel. So this, I think this is pony motor controls. Yeah, these are pony motor controls. So there's choke for pony motor, throttle for pony motor. This is the stop, and then that's the, I think that's the diesel, maybe, I don't know. That's the starter for the big engine, that lever. This lever right here is the starter for the big 2-cylinder diesel. There's a key switch. Here's your throttle up here. This one has a hand clutch instead of a foot clutch. It's like the 50. We're pretty sure one of these is high and low. I think it's this one. Put it down in the comments if you guys know. Here's a gear shift. So 1, 2. Reverse is that way. Up here, that's 3, 4. And then that's 5, 6. It won't go in the gear right now because it's stuck in this position right now. But it's got 2 hydraulics on it. This is your PTO. So now it's engaged. And this is your lever to raise the implement for or these or the hydraulics. Brakes, obviously. Here's another look at the starter arm. So try to start it like that, the big motor. There's the big old starter. This thing is huge. Got the oil pressure gauge right there, water temperature, miles per hour, hour meter, and RPMs right there. Amperes, and it's got a fuel gauge, so that's pretty handy on this tractor since it's diesel. Looking at it, probably needs a new seat. I'm gonna probably stick the umbrella up on this. We have an old umbrella. This is like a little toolbox on the tractor. That's where the battery goes. Battery goes under the seat, obviously, but here's the cables. They're brand new. This is like a little toolbox. Here's the cap for the hydraulics. This is the big old thing that starts it, the flywheel and crap. Arcanum. This is from Arcanum originally. Huh. That's pretty cool. It does have diesel in it. does have diesel in it. Does have oil, I believe. Has power steering. So yeah, like I said, here's the pony motor area. This thing right here, this is the pony motor. So it's a 4-cylinder gas, obviously, because it's a pony motor. But it's 4-cylinder. So, like I said before, start this tractor up on this engine. This engine runs, gets the tractor warmed up, starts this big motor. Not like a Farmall though, it's a little bit different, but kind of the same thing. And yeah. For the two new tractors, because there's not really much to say about them. Because look at them, especially that one. There's not really much to say about that. It's the same. If you guys want to know about the WD-45, go check out the WD video on RWD, the straight pipe WD. It's the same thing as this. Literally the same thing. It has a WD-45 engine in it, but it has a WD hood. But yeah, you can see that tires are really worn out. But yeah, so let's get mowing that area with the Ford. I'm gonna see you guys out there. little bit of a crop update on the fields. Okie dokie. Look at this. Let's go check on the corn. Corn, God, my hair. The corn seems to be around 4 foot, and it's the beginning of the field, closer to the oak tree. So yeah. So this cornfield, I'm going to explain this cornfield because I haven't really explained it in any videos. The planting video for this field was literally just cinematic shots of the 3010 and the 7000 conservation. So, all out the window, no information at all. But I do have the seed back here, so I will be explaining what is in this field and how much there is of it. This is 10 acres of non-GMO LG corn seed. This is LG 59C46 hybrid. The brand is Watt. Ooh. Okay. So the hybrid is LG 59C46. It's from LG Seeds, as you can see. LG non-GMO. Brand is Watt 2055 6332. Maturity, this is 109 day. Seeds a pound, 2091. Pure seed, 99.50. Intermatter, 0.50. Weed seed, none. Other crop seed, none. Noxious weed seed per pound, none found. Kind field corn. Variety, 124157. Germ, 95%. Test date, November 22nd. Origin, Iowa. So, this is LG 59C46, so it's 109 day corn from what I'm reading here. And from looking at it right now, this looks amazing. This is a new hybrid to us. So, this is a shorter hybrid of corn. We have always planted taller hybrids because back in the day, this entire farm used to be dairy. It was dairy, and everything was corn. So we grew really tall corn. Because we chopped silage back then. The last cornfield that we had from when we harvested in like July, the tallest stalk I saw was 16.5 foot. They said, my grandpa said he's at 18.5 before. So the old corn variety that we used to grow is basically meant for silage, but you can still combine it. That's what we did. But it was so big and tall, it would knock over because of the wind. So my grandpa made the decision, and he was like, well, we're not going to have this happen again. We're not harvesting that late again. We're not fiddling with the field. We're going to plant shorter. So this is a shorter hybrid. So this will look like everybody else's fields. Usually, like back in the day, you would know if it was our fields because it'd be tall. It'd be giant by now. It'd be at least 10 foot by now. I know that sounds crazy, but it does get 10 foot by July for some reason. That's what my corn is in the garden. That is tall hybrid. So we're going to see how tall that gets because it's older seed. We're going to see how tall that gets, measure it in the fall, see what it does. But this is 10 acres of LG non-GMO. this will be ear picked, hopefully. Except for the end rows, maybe. May have to combine the end rows. But we're hoping the ear pick the whole thing. And yeah. But just looking at it, it looks amazing. It's level throughout the whole field. The planter did a really nice job planting it. 3010 did a nice job. Next time we plant corn, we probably will use a different tractor because 3010 has 8,000 hours. It's wore out. It sucks. And you couldn't, the time that we planted at sunset, you couldn't see. But we got pretty straight rows. We don't need auto steer. But it looks pretty good from what I'm seeing. Obviously the end rows are always going to be different on every cornfield. But middle looks awesome. We had one row that stopped planting, I think. That was around the very end. It's right there, actually. I don't think you can see it on camera, can you? No, you can't see it on camera. But it was in, so we're trying to look for, okay, our field cultivator is a John Deere 1000. We have extra on the side, so it's a 16-foot. We had it on the Big Alice with a drag. We had the big drag on it, or the pole. That didn't really work that well, so we've been trying to look for a harrow. We've been looking for a lot of equipment, actually. But it didn't create a nice level surface. It left the cultivator ridges, which usually when you're planting, you don't want that. You want a nice, good level seed bed, from what I understand. But the cultivator ridge was still there. So the planter got one row specifically in that ridge and didn't plant it. It just left it on top of the ground. So we're looking for a harrow on the cultivator. And we're also looking for a new type of planter drill. Specifically a drill. Because for years and years and years, ever since that 8300 has been brand new, always planted beans with it. It's a great drill, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't plant level. It doesn't penetrate the ground like it's supposed to. So we're looking for a no-till. Not specifically to do no-till, but we're specifically looking for a no-till drill because it has the power to penetrate the soil and leave a nice level crop instead of variations and spots that are missing and stuff like that. That's exactly what this field happened out here next to the oak tree. It's so spotty. I'll walk out there here in a minute. But it's real spotty. We're looking for a drill. But I have a lot of viewers from a lot of different areas. But if you are a viewer in the Western Ohio area or Eastern Indiana area, and you know of a no-till drill, we're specifically looking for about 15 foot is good. As you see, we don't have the largest equipment in the world. What we're really looking for is a John Deere 750. That'd be a really nice 750 no-till. Or like a white, or not white, what are they called? I forget what they're red and white. God, what are they? I don't remember, but we're looking for a drill. If you're in the area, please contact me. We're looking for a drill. Looking for some type of planter at a cheaper price because I've seen 750s go for like $26,000, which is regular because John Deere doesn't really lose value with them pieces of equipment, but we just need a drill. We need something that can plant better than the A300. And we're not selling the A300, it's staying here. It's just, it can't really do much. It can still plant beans, we're still gonna plant beans with it. But we're looking for a drill now. We thought about it last year, and we're like, meh, maybe it was because we set the drill down or something, because we set the drill down to see why we were losing so much seed. It did nothing. So this year we looked at it and my grandpa just said, we need a new drill. So we're looking now. try to find one. But all around, all the crops are up now. This field is definitely up. Every single corn seed that I see is up. Except for that one row, obviously. But this bean field over to, so this was 11 acres, I believe, right here. To the edge of the corn, up to the garden. I think it's like 11 acres. That is the worst beans we've seen. It's real spotty, a lot of weeds, a ton of weeds. We don't get that. The west field right behind you looks pretty good. The beans are about probably half a foot tall. The 38 acres, that goes from the garden to the woods on this side. It looks awesome. It's been looking awesome. Still looks great. The back looks like the west field. So all the crops are pretty good. The hay has grown back. It is about 1.5 feet or half a foot already. We haven't even fertilized it yet. So we'll be getting a nice second cutting and an earlier second cutting since we cut it earlier this year, because we've always been cutting it like late June, early July. This year we cut it late or early June. So that's good. Neighbor got all that hay off the field. Tomorrow I gotta load some hay for our neighbor. He buys hay from us, probably 2 trailer loads on square bales on his trailer. Hopefully I have some buddies with me to help me. But yeah, farm is going great. Corn looks awesome. Beans look awesome. Except for this field. But everything from what I know is good. Sprayer, Mr. Rex, our seed guy and our sprayer guy, he's coming out hopefully early next week to come and spray. He's gonna spray all the beans. He can't spray the corn. He's gotta edge this off because we planted the end rows so far because we didn't know how much seed we were gonna have. I think a lot of farmers would do that. I think you guys would understand. At the other end, it's the same way. But yeah, it's pretty good corn here. That's a nice looking picture. For these two, we will be running the 70 here soon. Because it does run, it just needs pulled to run because the pony motor doesn't work. That one will not run. It won't right now. We're gonna have Doug, our tractor mechanic, look at it, see what's wrong with it. Like I said, restoration may be coming. But yeah, 2 new tractors again. The funny thing is we bought these literally the next week after we bought the WD and the Ferguson. So they just haven't came till then. But I really like the 70. I really like how it looks. Gives it character, all the old rust and crap on it. But maybe one day I'll get it painted. But it looks really nice. It's going to be handy. It's going to be a nice tractor to have. We're going to be working with it. It's a big tractor. And it has diesel too, so that'll be nice. The WD is just like the other WD. This is a WD-45. So the other one is technically a WD-45. It has a WD-45 engine. It has a WD hood on it. But yeah, that's the new tractors.